This episode of the Fade the Public podcast is brought to you by House Sports, company I'm starting a little later than planned, but check me out on Twitter at House Sports. November 19th, 2019. I've been wanting to do that every week, is put the date in so people know when they're listening besides looking, but
Smart.
is the first one. Missed a week again, of course.
We're lazy.
My fault.
Yeah.
The worst fucking week to miss because a lot of things happened around every single league. Well, football and baseball. Which is going to take us into our first topic, which is the biggest cheating scandal in MLB history.
Bum, bum, bum.
And I'm just going to start out, just go through this quick timeline of everything. I mean, I'm sure people listening know what happened, but for those who didn't. Before I start out, I don't think the fucking Yankees lost because the Astros cheated. For anyone who's gonna say that.
I thought you were going somewhere else with that.
No. We've got 30 championships by now, man. But the Yankees, like, the past 3 years have made remarks on these guys cheating. Multiple teams have. Mike Fiers, or however you say his name, came out and was saying when he was on the team, to quote him, they were advanced and willing to go above and beyond to win. Danny Farquhar from the White Sox came out and said something about them cheating.
Lord Farquaad.
And then when all hell broke loose, John Boy got a hold of the videos.
He breaks a video down better than anybody I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was nuts.
He kills it. Shout out to John Boy.
It's just making him blow up too,
Yeah,
dude.
man.
He's been on like 3 big talk shows now because of this.
Respect, man.
Dude, they're after him, too. They're like... I mean, Astros fans are really sensitive about this right now.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
trying to attack him personally, do everything they can to dispute this, but
Before I go
it's
on,
crazy.
this is a hypothetical, of course. If this happened to your team, I was trying to think about if this happened to the Yankees, because there's going to be more teams that come out if they actually investigate it the way that they should, that have cheated. I don't know if to this extent. If this was your team, how would you feel about this?
I mean,
I guess it's easy to say. You'd be like, I don't support cheating, of course.
I don't think you really have any excuse, though. Like, what's your excuse? They got caught red-handed. You
Yeah.
can't really twist it around saying, like, well, we did this because, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think there's any way you can spin it around and make it look better for yourself.
There's no positive spin from this.
Yeah.
They either cheated or they didn't, and whether they, we could keep putting out all the evidence. You see the picture of Jose Altuve coming up the steps of the dugout, and you see the
Amazing,
guy
dude.
with the TV. So you got that one. You have the witness, in person, the dude from the Astros who came out and kind of, was the whistleblower for this whole thing, and multiple team allegations saying that something isn't right. Do I think it's other teams? No, I really don't think other teams are involved with this. I think it's really just the Astros. I'm sure teams are trying to find an edge, which is, part of the game. It's fine, that stuff. But no, I mean, I would be absolutely furious if
Take
I
it to a
was,
whole nother level.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused how no one even realized what was going on in that game because it's so blatant. Like,
Well,
all you
dude,
hear
the
is
thing is-
smack, smack, smack.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean?
And John Boy even said, and then I went and looked, if you type in at Houston 2017, literally every video you click on, you hear it. It's insane.
Really?
Yeah. It's insane. But the Yankees called them out after, in this ALCS, for
Oh, did they?
whistling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
yeah, I did hear that.
And after that report, the next game, it was game 1. The next game, the Astros hitting coach was giving our third base coach the finger. Yeah, and Phil Nevin, the
Class
Yankees third
right
base
there.
coach, told Bregman, he said, go tell your fucking hitting coach I'm going to beat his ass after the game. Yeah, but no one took it seriously.
Yeah.
The NFL is really good at sweeping things under the rug.
Yeah.
But this time, there's too many people involved, too much shit going on. It's way too severe.
And credit the Nationals. I mean, they were aware of it, and they recognized what they're doing. You notice that, the moment they brought it to the league's attention, they addressed it, they switched it up. Well, Astros didn't win a single game at home.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
It's impressive.
if they found a way and they realized that was going on and they fixed it, then that shows how mediocre that team becomes when they don't have that, when they're not relying on it, because they didn't win a single game at home.
I was watching.
Series.
Yeah, you're right. I was watching the John Boy clip too, and the pitcher realized what was going on. He realized what was
White
happening.
Sox pitcher?
Yeah,
Yep.
and the catcher came up. So it's like that's why I'm confused. Like, why didn't they say anything then? Like, if he knew that's what they were doing, he's like, hey, like he knows we're throwing a change up here.
He was tipping signs.
Yeah.
Or something.
Okay. But yeah, it's like it's insane how blatant it was. Like,
and all these MLB, that's what makes it worse is all these MLB players coming out and being like, whoa. Whether they're going to get punished, but even if they don't, that team is going to have a hard time traveling anywhere these next few years.
Absolutely.
But Trevor Bauer is like one of my favorite players. He's accused these guys of cheating for years.
Really?
Now. Yeah, this goes back to like 2016. And people are not like, I don't know, I guess when it rains it pours, you know. People are like, how do these guys get pitchers and then turn them into Cy Young winners every pitcher? Like, what else are they doing? But probably the biggest thing on this is November 18th. That's been yesterday, right? It's the 19th.
Yeah.
A report comes out. I'm just going to read it real quick. That said, in recent days, I have had scouts and executives talk to me about a variety of methods that they have been or could be employed, such as realistic-looking electronic bandage placed on a player's body that buzzes in real time to signal what is coming. One for fastball, example.
What?
That's the gist of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, there was a Reddit post, October 24th. This is what it says. I had a dream a couple weeks back when the Astros were playing the Rays. It was that after the postseason finished, a news story came out that the Astros had a team of people deciphering signs with cameras, and that the team relayed the signal to the transponders that were wore in the cleats of the top, trusted not to snitch, Astros players. The transponder would vibrate according to what pitch was coming, but it was just a dream. Haha, that would never happen. The same exact day. Hold on. The same exact day he posts, I feel like the Astros lineup has the ability to guess which pitch is coming correctly more than any other lineup in baseball. You want to know the craziest part about this? That's the same exact day they fired their assistant GM.
Oh, for that.
Yep.
That
The same
scandal.
exact day that was posted on Reddit. So this shit's fucking serious. Like this
Yeah,
is.
if that's real though, they're going above and beyond the
you
cheat.
can edit Reddit posts, but it tells you when it was edited.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
was edited, 2 weeks before that report even came out.
Wow. Yeah, that's if that's all real, it's like they must be so insecure about their team if they need to go that far to cheat or to get any sort of advantage. It's insane.
I mean, what motivates a team like that to like put yourself and your entire franchise at risk like that? Like, is it the pressure of winning one World Series? Is it the pressure of tanking so badly that you want to keep your job and that you'll just find a way to do it? Or because the Astros were bad before this whole hot streak went on. Like they were bad.
Yeah.
And they talk about a success story, building a team from the ground up, breaking it down, and that's why there's always hope for teams like that. But when you do that and that's your outcome is cheating, yeah, that's rough.
It's crazy because you look at that team, how much talent they have too. Like you would expect that out of a team that doesn't really have too much talent and they need to get an edge. But the Astros, they have a great pitching staff. They have a lot of great sluggers. All up and down that lineup, everyone can hit. You know what I'm saying? So it's really weird. It's weird to me.
We have Red Sox coach Alex Cora now involved. Carlos Beltran is involved. And I actually think Carlos Beltran and Alex Cora are the top people involved in this investigation because the reports that came out said that they were the so-called leaders of this. It was their idea pretty much. So
To give that to the Astros?
yeah, because Carlos Beltran and Alex Cora were both coaches for them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
2017.
Yeah, and the Red Sox use Apple Watches? Was that the Red Sox? Remember that?
Yeah,
the
that
whole
was
Apple Watch thing?
That was a Yankees and Red Sox thing, but there was no evidence.
Okay,
found on that shit. They were both fine, but they're
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, man.
So where do we put that then? Like, you think about like major scandals in sports, Spygate with the Patriots,
Deflategate.
Pete Rose shit.
yeah, betting, Bountygate with the Saints, and then this. Where do you see that as like sort of ranking in like the top, most affected gates or whatever you want to call
There
it?
was an executive that said if they look into these properly and they are 100% true, which the banging and shit is 100% true. It's
you
not
can't
a
say no.
coincidence.
Yeah.
He said it'll be the most. I forget the exact words. It'll be the biggest.
Detriment.
Like punishment or
Oh.
whatever to
Yeah.
to a team in any sport history. Like, It's going to be major because it starts up top. It's the owner and everything who apparently knew about it.
Absolutely.
Right,
And,
like Saints. I mean, Sean Payton and the GM that year, the Bounty Gate was both suspended for the entire year. I mean, if that's tier 2, tier 3 compared to this, like, who knows? Like, I mean, vacating a World Series win doesn't really do anything because it already happened.
I don't think they should get it taken away from them.
No.
But draft picks, suspensions. I mean, I don't know what isn't too much at this point for a penalty for this.
But it makes it look worse because they won a World Series and they've been good for so long. That's what makes it bad because they've been winning, actually. If they weren't winning, I feel like it probably wouldn't be as much of a controversy, but they're winning. They won a World Series.
And that's why I think it's number one. Patriots,
it's up there,
they cheated. They won a couple. But, I mean, to go from, the story that they had, the amount of money that they're now bringing in, and for 3 years of, really just solid success, that's got to be number one.
The Patriots had... We don't know who was all involved with the Patriots thing, but definitely the coaches. Mm-hmm. But this is down from the owner to the players, all the way to the training staff or whoever was banging on the trash can. You know what I mean? But someone said the way the MLB handled the Pete Rose thing, of just banning him from the MLB, and there hasn't been a thing since that. You have to. I'm not saying ban the Astros, whatever. I'm saying it has to be a punishment harsh enough so no team even dares to touch this shit again, because cheating in baseball has always been a thing. You're always trying to find a way to be the best team. But also, I'm not calling for a ban on any players. Maybe the owner. I don't know. Fuck them.
I fell back.
We almost lost him.
AJ Hinch is a bitch.
Dude, that's like the worst fucking feeling on earth, dude.
Your heart goes through your
dude.
stomach, dude. Oh, it's the worst.
So what would be
Anyway.
what would be a harsh enough penalty so that way it never happens again?
International signing money,
Yeah.
draft picks, fines, suspensions.
To the upper management. I don't think any players.
And GM or coach.
Yeah, coach and
Manager,
upper management.
Players, I don't know how you would solve that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
The chances that all of them do it are probably pretty fucking high. I mean, there's how many people on a team, you know what I mean? It's not like a football team where you have 52 players.
70 players on the team.
But exactly. And how are you going to, identify and say, okay, these 4 players were the ones that were involved with that? Unless you have written, documented testimony, there's no way that this is actually going to be a player can come down and get suspended for that. It's really just going to start from the top and stay there.
If you're like a player or a coach or someone getting asked, you're not going to tell, oh, it was Altuve, it was Bregman.
Yeah.
You're not going to tell your best players, you know what I mean?
I think you ban the dude, whoever's smacking the dugout.
Oh, yeah.
You ban him, too.
I'm sure there's got to be ways that you can view, dugouts. There's cameras everywhere.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And, I think it's funny. You always see, Yankees have been involved with that, too. And it's you see the pitch wind up, and it goes to that clip of what's his name banging the roof with his baseball bat.
Brett Gardner over here
We got him. But there's got to be evidence like that somewhere of somebody banging a trash can. I don't know how you can't, because that's a lot. That's a loud.
It's so loud. How does nobody realize it? If you because you hear it once, you're probably whatever, you're not really. But then you hear it the same again and again, you're like, what's that banging? You're trying to figure out what it is.
The whistling shit, I understand, because anyone can be whistling.
Yeah,
even so though that was part of it, you can tell by. But yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe it was one of them things where it was the MLB has that don't ask, don't tell shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What if they wanted to not get this out? What if they're we know what's going on. It's good for the league that the Astros are winning.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theory.
But listen, sorry for cutting you off. But the guy who told or said, brought this to light, do you think he's more of a snitch, or do you think he's doing the right thing? I guess it's what kind of fan you are. Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
And no team wants to then employ that because I'm sure there's other things going on. If you're a team that has some things like that, you're not going to want to pick this guy up because, a disgruntled employee is always the one that's going to be the one that, drops the bombshell when they leave.
Yeah, but I think he's probably doing the right thing because, that shit can't happen.
Yeah.
I think his whole point was because he said in his interview was I had to tell my team when we were facing them, it shouldn't be to the point where these guys have such a fucking advantage.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And people get traded all the time, so it's you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's what are you gonna? Because like, all right, I'm on the team where they're doing that, but next year I'm probably gonna be playing against them. I don't want them doing that against me. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
But like, so I mean, I guess the one thing you can do would be very extreme, and you know, I don't. No professional team has ever been banned from the playoffs for a year. I mean, if that's the case, like that really just crushes all the local market because nobody's going to want to come out for a team that's not going to the playoffs. I mean, I guess some teams have to deal with that every single year. Their team not going to the playoffs. But if you have a team like that, and they're not going to the playoffs. You're not going to get as much television money. You're not going to get the viewership that you want to get in the park and on TV. And it would just be completely set a whole new precedent for someone coming in and saying, okay, if you do this is the threshold for you to get your team disqualified from the playoffs. Like that's a huge precedent, a huge wave that would come through.
Yeah.
If that were to happen.
The MLB can't afford to see the Astros not be in the postseason. That just completely changes the AL drastically if they're not in there. You know
it just
what I mean?
becomes the NL.
Hey, the NL won the World Series.
Yeah,
so, hey.
But yeah, I think it's fucked. Fuck the Astros.
Yeah, I got it. So I just lost it. So you know how I said this earlier, but you know how college football, they have a death penalty and they ban these teams for being bowl ineligible.
Yeah.
Have you? I said this earlier, but have you ever seen a major league team like the NBA, NFL, NHL, them getting banned for from the playoffs or something? I don't think that ever happened.
Did the Saints have that?
I don't know, but could that be something in the works?
I think the Saints might have had that.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember.
I'm gonna look that
But could
up.
that be? Could that be in the works though? Could they do something like that to the Astros? Like, hey, doesn't matter how good your record is, you're not going to the playoffs next year because you're a bunch of fucking cheaters.
That would definitely fucking teach them a lesson.
Absolutely, it'd be a
Teach
lot of
everyone a
outrage.
lesson, yeah.
There'd be a lot of outrage, but I think people would agree
For
with it.
some reason, I think
No.
no.
Penalized. Teams were the assistant head coach was
yeah.
suspended for the first 6 games.
Sean Payton was too,
Sean
right?
Payton
Yeah, he
was.
was. That's right.
Vilma was.
I
And
do
then just
remember that,
penalized with a fine and forced to forfeit their second
That was the
second
headhunting
round
shit,
draft.
right?
Yeah, headhunting. Yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously nothing really came out of the Patriots bounty gate or deflate
course
gate.
not.
That was just a waste of
Of
time.
course not.
Yeah, GM suspended, assistant coaches suspended, a couple players were suspended, and then the team was fined at $500,000. Like,
Ooh.
yeah, I know,
$500,000.
right? Pocket change. Yeah,
It's like
no,
$20 to us.
no team's really ever been suspended from playoffs.
That's kind of crazy though. Thinking about I don't remember what the Patriots' punishment was for that.
I don't
for
know if
the
there really
stealing
was.
plays shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
Spygate.
'Cause that's horrible. That's
Yeah.
fucking horrible.
What's that? They were filming their practices or something
Yeah.
like that? That's crazy.
That was the
man.
year they beat the Eagles, I believe.
So
Exactly.
something like that happens though, and then they get in trouble for the Deflategate. It's like, why wouldn't they have done that? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It's like
yeah.
you already got caught filming. It's like that's like what Little League coaches do with midget football. Like they go to on the playoffs, they go over to their practices, they're filming it. But yeah,
Super,
it's
try hard parents.
yeah,
coaches.
it's like dude, they're like, we're not losing this game. I got my job on the line. You stupid little shits.
the coach's kid always pitches.
Oh
every
yeah,
single game.
yep. Quarterback pitches. Yeah.
I'm still just bringing
Point
back
guard.
really bad memories. The reason why I think I don't like baseball is it goes back really far.
I like baseball, dude.
Little League baseball, I was pitching a no-hitter through 4 innings, and the coach
Wow.
took out me, put on his son, and we ended up losing. And I was just ever since that day,
I'm not
I
gonna
swore
name
off
names
baseball.
because of the podcast, but I feel like I know. Who
You know exactly who that is.
I think I
Chances are
Change
he's
the
not,
subject because I want.
I think I know this.
He's not playing anymore, but chances are he's not listening either.
Those Barnett genetics, man. Why wouldn't you keep you in, dude? Come on.
Yeah. So then I played lacrosse,
There you go.
real sport.
You're pitching a no hitter.
First ever no-hitter.
What grade were you in?
That would have been
Well, technically,
fourth
it wasn't
grade.
a no-hitter.
Fourth grade.
Wow, man.
Kind of a big
I
deal.
would have kept you in.
Dude,
Shit.
Yankees were there at that game.
But they were.
They offered me a contract, but
Joe Torre probably,
couldn't do
huh?
it. Couldn't do it. I
Next
told him
year,
I wanted to play
hurt my
professional
arm.
lacrosse.
Hurt my arm next year. Couldn't play.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Tommy
Can't go to the
John
league.
surgery at the age of 10.
Yeah, that sucks, man.
Yeah, tough life.
Fantasy football.
Oh,
The worst segment of the podcast.
Well, Jack, if it makes you feel any better, I am second to last in both of my leagues that I'm in real life. So
With money on the line.
yeah,
Yeah.
Jack can't redraft now.
no.
No,
Actually,
okay, I said this earlier.
Keeps his guy. He keeps Tyreek because it's worse.
You can keep Tyreek.
I don't want Tyreek. I want Tyler Lockett.
So Tom Brady had a bye and then put up 8 points against the Eagles. That was rough.
Shit, Eagles.
Jack, you're in third with 523 points. Cody, we were neck and neck last 2 weeks ago.
20 points
about
difference.
20 points
Yeah.
off. But and Russell Wilson is still killing it for you, 241 points. But Hopkins
Big
is
football
still
guy.
kind of mid-tier, and then Barkley is kind of falling off a little bit. So
Plays for the Giants.
Cody with 551 points. Honestly, Jack, you're only 20 points behind, or 30 points behind Cody.
That's it.
You could make a push.
I
here for
could,
second.
man. That's why I should
Could.
change my wide
Could,
receiver.
not gonna.
And
Can do anything in life, but
I got
Yeah,
641
luck
points.
doesn't run that way.
It's just not even close at this point. Mahomes, 233 points with those extra Winston, while he was hurt. I got the little draft of, a little 40-point boost from Jameis.
that's so bullshit.
The
dude.
kid that we were making
What
fun of him for drafting Jameis fucking Winston, and this
It's like
guy
one of
puts
the
up.
best weeks.
Yeah, he's slinging it, dude. He's
Threw like
throwing
20
fucking piss
touchdowns.
missiles.
Michael Thomas, obviously, number one in fantasy points for wide receiver, 237 points.
Most underrated receiver in the game.
Just absolutely crushing. The man gets his money and then balls out even
Balls
harder,
out.
too. It's crazy. And then Zeke, 177. So, I mean, it makes me feel good, but I don't win any money on this, so who cares? I care, actually. It's pride.
Yeah,
It makes
it's
me
kind
feel
of
good
like
about
a,
myself.
you get the bragging
We
rights.
should have came up with some sort of.
No, because if we did, it probably wouldn't have went through.
I mean, we could. Oh, yeah.
Yankees.
It kind of reminds me of something. One of these days,
I
we're
have no
gonna
idea
have
what
to-
you're talking about.
we're gonna have to
Oh yeah.
I really have no
Remember
idea.
a bet that
The-
you
the
that we made?
Yankees and,
Some consequences for the Yankees not winning the World Series.
Big Nationals fan here.
No,
Oh shit, that's right. I forgot.
I don't know.
Damn.
I have literally no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll talk about it
I
later.
don't know why you're making shit up for, but
okay.
We'll talk
Well,
about it later.
I'll have to bring the razors next time, and
yeah, I'm not using my own shit. That'd be like bringing my own electric chair to get executed.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking doing that shit.
well, I'll just bring my.
Here, guys, shave my shit off.
Here, fucking kill me.
You want me to bring my own? Because I don't really use it for.
Yeah, I want
this,
your
so.
pubic hair.
Yeah.
razor,
Well, you
dude.
gotta have two razors. You need a pube razor and a
Yeah.
face razor. You know?
Yeah, I'm not bringing that shit.
I don't know. Do we come up with something right here? First place, second place. What does the last place get?
No, because I'm not gonna be in second place. I'm gonna be in
Jack's
first place.
Yeah. Just pride.
That's
All right,
pride,
that's
yeah.
fair enough.
We'll do something next year.
I'll take that. All right.
Second place gets $200. $100 for the
That's
first
fair.
and third.
And then third place gets
Yeah,
like
that makes
$500.
sense. That makes
total
perfect sense.
yeah.
Deal. That's a steal. All right, we're going to take a break. Coming up next, we're going to talk about our picks. We're going to talk about the Eagles, recap the Patriots, Seahawks looking ahead, and then we'll get into some Reddit questions, so look forward to that. This segment of the Fade the Public podcast is brought to you by Blindside Clothing Company. Blindside's mission is to encourage people to move forward in the face of fear and into the unknown. You have to bet on yourself. So head over to blindsideclothingcompany.com, empty your bank account, buy some t-shirts, glasses, hats, and bet on yourself. And that 10-team parlay that you can't miss that you've been trying to hit for years now. Again, that's blindsideclothingcompany.com.
I thought we had a skateboard sponsor.
I know.
Blind skater, remember that?
Almost,
Your
almost.
AIM? It's blind skater.
Oh, yeah,
Speaking
what
of
was it?
betting-
Blind skater, what?
Oh, my screen name?
Yeah.
Blindskater659.
Hell yeah. It's so weird. I remember like all my
What was
friends
yours?
fucking. My first one was Mr. Monkey 619. then it was PM Bowler 24. Then it was
Oh,
PM
yeah,
Basketball
dude.
3124.
Is that where it ended?
That's where it ended. That's where it
I think
stopped.
first one, fullback 33.
Yeah, I remember that.
FOOL. 'cause,
Yep.
you know,
Power move, dude.
Football guy.
UNC b-ball fan,
There you go.
and then
Yikes.
wound up with Blind Skater. You know, you can kind of see the phases of my life
Classics, dude.
through
right
that.
there.
Mine was, oh, damn, it's Cody. So fucking
Oh,
edgy, dude.
damn.
So edgy, dude.
Wait, was it spelled like capital O?
Yeah.
lowercase a? Yeah.
Yo, remember you used to edit your profile and be like, summer 2007, gonna be the best one ever. And then you're like dating a girl and you put their initials in the heart. Like, yo, that shit was great.
The chicks ones were always the worst. They had
Oh
some
my
corny ass
God.
quote.
Yeah, dude.
My favorite one was like, about to shower, you know, don't
Yeah.
hit me up. Or,
Away
or
messages.
mom's getting on the computer, don't message.
It's like BRB playing basketball. Like it's so random, dude. Let's get back
Anyway.
into the podcast.
Yes, take a trip down memory lane.
Yeah, man.
All right. So speaking of betting, let's talk about the ups and downs of our last 2 weeks. Jack,
been rough,
do
dude.
you want to kick us off here with this?
I hate this podcast, dude.
Yeah.
Last week I went 0-1-1. I pushed on the +3 Bills. I thought that was easy trap game. I thought the Bills would handle it. The Bills don't score many points, but they always win the games when they don't score a lot of points. But Baker came to life, and I was actually going to lose for a second, but I think they scored a last-second touchdown, something like that.
Yeah.
So I ended up pushing. Game I lost was I shouldn't have lost it. Spencer lost this one too. Chiefs -5.5. They played the Tennessee Titans. Could have kicked the field goal at the end of the game, the cover, but I think it got blocked or he missed it. One of the two.
Yeah, my broke ass doesn't have
Dude.
red zone, so I FaceTimed Jack while he had that just so I could see the kick, and now
I had to hang up on him because I was like, "Fuck this, dude!" Like,
Dude, that's a bad beat right there. I mean,
terrible beat. We
you're-
easily could have won.
you're
We were winning the whole game.
Game goes to 8. Instead, you miss the kick,
Yeah.
and then they go down, and then you come back and you have a chance to at least go to overtime.
Yeah.
Maybe get 6 points, so we're still good at that -5.5. Missed
Get
the
blocked.
field
They
goal.
got blocked. Yep.
That was rough.
Gotta love it.
Me and Cody both, I think, were 1-1 that week. We were both on the Seahawks. He had the plus
Great pick.
+5,
+6.
Great
+6.
game actually too.
And
Me
I
and
took
Jack are both 5-7 now.
Yeah.
Did you went 1-1 too?
1-1, yeah.
So you're 10-2.
Yeah, and then if you want to count last week, we didn't give our picks away. I almost had the underdog of the century here. It would have been awesome getting Southern Florida playing Cincinnati, big time underdog. I took the money line on that, and honestly, I texted Cody. I was so excited. Like it's like 2 minutes left, tie game. Everything's looking good. USF sets up for a game-winning field goal kick, and some kicker, I don't know his last name, but all I know is his first name's Spencer, hits the uprights and misses it for like his third missed kick of the
That's
game.
terrible.
Never trust a kicker named Spencer. I'll put
Nope.
you that way. No, or as you said, never trust anybody named Spencer.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Who did I have last week? Oh, I have Giants lost to the goddamn Jets.
Yep.
Jets.
And the Seahawks pulled one out. I don't know why I bet the Giants and shit. I do that dumb
You
shit
always
every
bet.
week.
You love betting the NFC East. You go Redskins, Giants.
Yeah, I'm just crazy, man.
This past week, though, this is like, no, not the one that we were talking about for the podcast, but this one. I had some good ones in there. Kansas City, I did a little same game parlay, 52, taking the under of the Chiefs and Chargers, and then took them at -4. So that was good. Dude, I did another just terrible. I went to the Penn State game and thought it would be fun to maybe live bet while I'm there. Really enjoy it.
Who are they playing?
Indiana.
Yeah.
I took first half money line or first half spread of 7.5, and that didn't
Nope.
hit. Doubled down and went 12.5 Penn State, and that didn't cover either. So
Wow.
I went back, went full tilt, put the rest of my bankroll on UGA -3,
I
and
love
that brought
these
me
stories.
back. So I was happy about that.
Winning mentality.
I had a good,
Is that
Oh,
a
and
good
Rams
game?
-6.
Was that a good game?
Which one?
Penn State?
Penn State, that was actually, I mean, it was a good game to watch. It's
Yeah.
frustrating, dude. Like,
For a
Indiana,
Penn State fan, yeah.
Indiana was just Penn State's secondary is just not that great. I mean,
Their
they,
offensive line's not too good.
their
either.
zone, I mean, they were playing everything up front, and then they just get beat with just a completely blown coverage time after time, keeping Indiana in the game. And they're going to have a huge wake-up call if they when they play Ohio State this weekend. So, you
Yeah.
hope that you can see them make a splash and keep their chances alive. But, geez, like,
I think Ohio State's gonna blow them out. They're so good.
the way that
They
they've been
cover.
playing, yeah.
They cover every game. Like their spread's like 40 points and they still cover.
Oh, yeah.
It's insane.
What are we, week 10, 11?
12.
12.
Are we really in week 12?
Already,
football?
dude. It sucks how fast
Jeez.
it goes.
Isn't there like 2 more college football games?
2 or 3 more weeks. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It sucks how fast it goes, man.
Yup.
It's
This
like
year's been really
whenever
good.
football season comes, I get so happy. It's insane. Like my life changes. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's literally nuts.
Sundays aren't boring anymore.
Let's get into our picks.
All right.
Let me start off.
Go
My
ahead.
lock. Seahawks money line versus Eagles. At Philadelphia. I'll give my reasons when we start talking about the Eagles. We don't need to go down that rabbit hole quite yet. But yeah,
And Seahawks are
money line.
dogs too, aren't they?
Yeah.
They are
-1.5.
-1.5.
Like I always say, this is November 19th, so whatever the spread is when we say it is what we go off of,
Yeah.
not closing lines because they'll end up closing by the time this comes out.
Yeah.
Or not closing, but they'll end up changing. I mean, so yeah, Seahawks money line. Don't know the odds.
Plus 146, I think.
Take it.
Good odds. Do you want me to go?
Oh, sorry, no, I'm way off there. Seahawks are the. No, actually.
Yeah, Seahawks are dogs.
Yeah.
Eagles are favored -1.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're probably right. On
Oh
that.
yeah, okay.
I'm going to go with my lock here. We got a great game. It's actually got flexed to the Sunday night game. Packers, Niners.
Was gonna pick the game in the. Sorry.
You were?
Yeah, I was gonna.
Yeah, I'm actually going to take the over here. The line's at 47. I think both offenses score a lot of points. Aaron Rodgers is good. Garoppolo's been showing that he can throw the ball the past couple of weeks. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Even though Niners have good defense, I still think Rodgers is going to tear him up. But I'm going to go the over with 47.
I'm sorry, I do have a game on that, but I'll wait till Spencer says it is.
All right, my lock of the week. I'm taking Oakland -3 against the Jets. I think that's a little
That was a
overhyped.
tough
I think the Jets have been playing well as of late, but Oakland's been running. They had a tough game, I guess, against a pretty shitty opponent with the Bengals. But I mean, there's no reason why. I think that's a pretty safe bet because at the very least they're going to win by. They're going to win that game,
Yeah.
and it's not going to be that close. I feel like So if you're going to give me a field goal to push, I'll take that.
What is it? Jets what?
Oakland -3 against the Jets.
All right, underdogs.
Yeah, my bad. I'm like lost.
It's all right, man. Go ahead.
I'll space the fuck out. Packers +3.
Nice.
Back my boy Aaron Rodgers. I never have a reasoning. I literally never do. But yeah, Packers +3. I don't. Is it at? No, it's at
It's 49ers.
Yeah, at San Francisco. Packers +3.
I like it.
Spencer.
I like it.
Spencer, what's your underdog?
My dog pick of the week. Give me Jacksonville money line +146 at Tennessee.
Foles is back.
Nick Foles is back. He didn't. I mean, it's his first game back. He had a rough showing. Started to get a little better as the game went on, but I have no reason to ever put faith in the Titans to be good. They're still dealing with everything that they have.
I don't even know who their quarterback is.
Tannehill.
Yeah, Ryan Tannehill. Like I have no faith in that. I'd rather put faith in Nick Foles here than Tennessee. So I'm gonna say underdog pick Jacksonville +146.
Okay.
Plus, he has the dick of a fucking Clydesdale.
Allegedly.
I think swinging in the freaking wind. Just, like
Who was that?
Like
What
a baby's
Eagles player
arm.
was the one? Was it like Connor Barwin went out and just like
Connor Barwin, yeah.
it's just like it's big.
was so fun.
Some say it looks like a baby's arm. But all right, underdog. Here we go. I need to go 2-0. I need to go 2-0.
Not
So
fucking happening.
some people might think this is a little crazy. I tend to get a little crazy, but I'm gonna take the Broncos +4 here against the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills, I believe, are 7-2. I just don't think they're a good team. I don't see. I think the Broncos have enough to either keep it in 4 or win the game. I just, like I said, the Bills. I said earlier, Bills don't score a lot of points. The Broncos are, they're up and down, but I think they can end up winning this game because the Bills need to lose one here. They do.
Plus,
so.
the Broncos ran a fullback dive last week, so.
Shout out to the Broncos for that.
Dude.
So did the Colts.
Circa
dude.
2010.
You see that? The Colts ran a fullback dive with
Yeah.
Quentin Nelson.
Did you see their touchdown celebration with the keg stand?
Yes.
That was great, man. I'm surprised the NFL didn't
the
find him or some
announcers were
shit.
so weird about it.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
He definitely did not learn that in Notre Dame.
Oh God! And it's not like the NFL sponsors every beer company in the
Right.
in the
I hate
nation.
I get that they want to be like family friendly, but like I always hated how they have to be like so PC. about
Everyone
shit.
drinks. It's like 13-year-olds drink in their basement like all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like it's.
It's because they know there would be people on Twitter being like, my daughter was watching this
Yup.
game. And
You
that
guys condone cake stands. Oh my God!
How do I have to explain to my 2-year-old daughter when she comes to me the next day and asks me about, Daddy, what's a keg stand?
Yeah, right. Well, it's when they fill it up with juice and they have a good time and But yeah, that's our picks.
Any other? I will say the one thing I'm on right now. I think starting right now, I took the over Virginia and Vermont college basketball. So it was one of the lowest. I mean, 113. I know Virginia is a very low-scoring team, and so is Vermont. But you know what? Why not? Go against what everybody else is saying. Fade the public. I'm taking the over on this game tonight.
There you go.
I'll let
This
you know
part
how
of
it
the
goes.
podcast is brought to you by Skull Wintergreen.
Sco Wintergreen.
Rip your love.
Rip your lip, baby.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Eagles. Where do we start?
We had to get to them.
Every week I say how much I hate talking about the Eagles, but
So they played the Patriots
Let's
at
do
home, 4 o'clock game. Eagles came out hot. They came out to a 10-0 lead. The Patriots, though, the only passing touchdown they had, this is the craziest thing, the only passing touchdown they had was Julian Edelman throwing the ball into the end zone, which is pretty sad. If you're going to tell me the Eagles were going to lose with Tom Brady not throwing a touchdown pass and Julian Edelman was, and they were going to lose that game, I would have told you you're nuts. But, yeah, the offense couldn't get it together. Second half, it just was a train wreck. It was total opposite. Receivers, we say week in, week out, receivers can't get anything done. Defense played all right, though. Defense did play decent. Carson Wentz, a little backlash on him, said they couldn't get it done. But Carson Wentz also can't throw and catch the ball. He can't block. He can't kick field goals. Carson Wentz can't do everything. But what do you guys think about it?
first off, without being redundant, Doug Peterson needs to
Good
learn
use
to
of
call
vocab.
a fucking game. I understand it's hard to run the ball. It's safety's playing up in the box. I get that. 48 passes with the worst wide receiving core in the league against the best pass defense in the league with your best pass blocker out of the fucking game.
Yeah.
And you're still trying to pass the ball. It's like I said, I don't want to be redundant because I talk shit on Doug and I talk shit. I don't need to talk about micro. I'm not going to. But enough's enough. This team's not doing anything.
Doug's reasoning for that was they shut down Miles Sanders. Well, Miles Sanders is our best receiver, our best running. Well, you can put Jordan Howard in there, but we didn't have Jordan Howard. We didn't have our Alshon Jeffrey. We had Hollins, Matthews, and Aguilar as our starting receivers. I mean, you're gonna tell me Wentz threw the ball 48 times to that receiving core? Doesn't make too much sense.
You gotta find. I understand like Howard's your through the tackles running back, but like you gotta at least give it a chance. Like the Eagles can get holes on the left side of the field without Lane Johnson over there.
They're so
on the
quick
right
to
side.
abandon it.
They do, yeah, and they just try and go east and west with you got to grow up for at least one game and just try and run the ball. If they're gonna create these holes for you and you're gonna go hit the outside anyways, like that's just disrespectful. And you got to at least understand like there are certain games where you just have to change your game plan and do something different that's gonna work.
Yeah.
And running through the tackles is where the Eagles have had success recently.
Absolutely.
With Jordan Howard. But you're telling me that a guy that's a professional running back can't run through the tackles either. Like you're guaranteed to at least get a couple yards when you do that, when they open up holes like that, whether or not you're a power back.
Yeah, I agree. And in the first half, they were running that. A couple times they were running that jumbo set and running to the weak side with two offensive linemen on side, and it was working perfectly. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing that. Keep doing it. It was working so good. Miles Sanders was getting at least 5 yards of carry there. That jumbo set was working perfectly. I know Lane Johnson got hurt, but you got to stay with the run. You got to stay with the run. And I know Doug Peterson said they took Sanders away, but if you can't expect to win a game throwing, like I keep saying it, but you can't expect to win a game throwing to Nelson Aguilar, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, and Mac Hollins. You know what I mean? You can't win a game throwing 48 times to them. You can't.
What a time when our receivers to start the season was Jeffries, Jackson, and Aguilar. And now, I mean, we don't have a number one receiver. Like,
I'm thinking we should do the invincible thing and pull someone off the street. Seriously. Swear to God, man. There's probably kids in Philly that are playing backyard football
last time I
better.
heard Des Bryant is on the street.
That's what I did. I heard that too.
Antonio
Yeah.
Brown's on the street.
But that kind of makes you wonder. It's like, what was Howie thinking about not picking up anyone at the trade deadline? What was he thinking? And then they signed Rick Lovato today for a 4-year deal. Your long snapper.
It's Howie season, baby.
Your long snapper. I don't get the thinking. Someone else that's watching this, you can go on Reddit and tell me and tell us, but I just don't get that. I don't get why we wouldn't even even for like someone that has some speed or something. Just someone new. Bring a fresh face in that knows how to play the game. Just bring in someone. I don't get it.
You can put the blame a lot on the skill receivers for not making key catches. You see, but with Aguilar at the very end of the game. But
Can't
you
track
think
the ball,
about it,
save
like
his life.
we finally get Matt Collins to make a great double move around the outside, and Carson Wentz throws it 6 yards out of bounds.
Yeah,
like
Carson Wentz was
practically
throwing
hits
bad
Tom
balls.
Brady on the sidelines.
You're
Like
setting me up.
that's just an awful. and then the two or three missed easy completions on the final drive to keep things going. Like he made a great play on 4th down to win the game that was dropped. But you left it open so many better opportunities in that drive where you just failed to make simple throws.
Yeah.
And that's what crushes a team like that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had, I think I saw a stat, it was like 17 chances to make a game-winning play or anything like that. 15, and he's failed on 13 of them.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's awful.
You just segued right into
And that sorry, Cody, before you go, that kind of translates into the whole who's better, Dak Prescott, Carson Wentz. And I always backed up Carson, but this year I'm kind of leaning towards Dak. I hate to say it, this guy's balling out over there for Dallas.
I think it was like the first episode, I said how overrated Carson is by Eagles fans. And a few weeks later, he started playing really good for a little
He
stretch.
hasn't played bad.
I
that
gave him
bad.
credit, but Spencer knows I'm like the first one to criticize him when
Yeah.
shit happens. Dude, good quarterbacks have arm strength. Good quarterbacks don't hold the ball too long. Good quarterbacks can run for a first down. Great quarterbacks are consistent. And this dude is so fucking inconsistent, man. 1-7 since the start of 2018 in win/tie at the end of the game situations.
Yeah,
That's
bad.
horrible, man.
That's bad.
And yeah, you can blame Aguilar for that, like Spencer said, for that 4th down, but they shouldn't have been in that situation in the first place. And I fucking hate to agree with ESP. The first time I probably ever agree with him. Besides drives where they're just running the ball at the end of the games, 7-minute drives, Carson Wentz doesn't have a touchdown leading drive in his career. Not one.
Not one.
No.
Jeez.
Where he's actually slinging the ball, no time left. They're not trying to run a shitload of clock out.
Even Jameis Winston can give you one.
When they need a touchdown, he hasn't delivered. I mean, he doesn't have that fucking killer instinct where you see in a young Ben Roethlisberger, a Brady, a Aaron Rodgers,
Lamar
Russell
Jackson.
Wilson, a Brett Favre back in the day.
Yeah.
He lacks that fucking killer instinct.
Yeah.
It sucks, but
And it's unfortunate because you look at the way the Eagles team is structured. Like there are two, you can look at it two ways. A team can build skill position players around a mediocre quarterback to build them up. But the Eagles went the other way. They're all in on Carson Wentz. And if you're all in on a quarterback, you have to rely on that quarterback to make those plays, to make the throws when Matt Collins gets open, to make those easy, chain moving throws on your final drive. But to come up short like that, that's just you can't blame Howie for not giving him the weapons when he misses the throws,
I agree with that.
with open players like that. So yes, it is frustrating as hell not to have an Amari Cooper or go out and get a guy in the trade deadline to
Emmanuel
get
Sanders.
someone, Emmanuel Sanders,
Yeah.
someone like that. But I mean, if you're gonna go all in on Carson Wentz, then he has to, because right now, I'm seeing all the things that we talk about when he first got going. He throws the ball high. He has, a little bit issue with ball security. Those things came out, and he got exposed against the Patriots with that. He threw a lot of high balls. He threw balls out of bounds, and then on a crucial play, he turns around and fumbles the ball and loses the ball on a strip sack.
Yeah.
Like those things cannot happen when you're paying them that much money and to revolve the team around him.
But then he makes a ridiculous. We're on our own 1 yard line. He makes a ridiculous. He almost falls in the end zone. Just regroups himself.
Yeah.
There's a ridiculous pass. I think of Whiteside, which is an amazing pass. But he does something like that. But he can't do a 10-yard out.
the way he can escape a fucking pass rush. And
It's
shit
bar
is-
none. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
But
One of the
when
best
he
in the
sits in
league.
the pocket, he's flat-footed, dude. He's looking to one side of the field. He's not going through his reads. He's
But-
seeing if Ertz has his hands up, ready
Yeah.
for like.
But do you think some of that has to do with our receivers? Not having the trust in the receivers. You think some of those balls he's not going to throw all the money because then he might not catch this, or I don't think he's going to catch this because he works with them every day. He knows their tendencies. He knows if some balls are going to catch, some balls are not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Either way, though, you got to give him a shot.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
Even if you don't
Yeah,
trust them,
absolutely.
that's all they have.
Absolutely.
At this point, but I don't know. It fucking bums me out though.
the defense didn't play bad though. They didn't play
the
that
defense
bad.
has been playing.
I was telling
excellent.
Spencer.
We're healthy.
I was telling Spencer, I've always liked Jalen Mills. I don't think he's a really
I
good
love Jalen
quarterback,
Mills, yeah.
But that defense has just I hate using the word swagger, but when he's in, it's a completely
He's a
different
dog.
defense.
He's
Yeah.
a dog. He's
Yeah.
a dog. He will. Doesn't matter how bad. Doesn't matter if he gave up a 50-yard pass. He's gonna be right in your face,
Yep.
going right back at you. That's what we want in Philly. We want a dog. We need dogs. So we need that on the offensive side. We need to get someone that has a personality that they're gonna go get it no matter what's going on. No matter what the situation is, they're gonna go up and get it. They're gonna make the pass.
Every
they're gonna
year
make the
we
run.
have this situation where it's either our offense or
Yeah.
our defense,
Yep.
and we're never in sync.
Yeah.
And it sucks just because, like, you take away the Super Bowl, and we're like a sub, maybe like a little bit above 500 team for the last 3 years. Like,
I always said that, like, aside from the Super Bowl, like you
Yeah.
just said, I always, like, we make fun of, like, the Titans, the Bengals, and shit. I'd rather
We're
beat
no
them and
different.
get better draft picks than
Yeah.
just be mediocre every
Yeah,
fucking
not have
year.
any good draft picks at all, and
Yeah.
not but it's
so they have a must-win game against Seattle, and
Yeah.
it's when you look at kind of the way things have happened from, like, acquisitions and trading. You think about what the Seahawks have done, and you compare that to the Eagles, and it's laughable. Like, you look at, okay, defensive line. Seahawks went out. Eagles had a chance to go get Jadeveon Clowney. They didn't. They didn't offer anything. They didn't do what they needed to do to get him. Okay, that's one thing. Eagles had Josh Gordon on the waiver wire.
Seahawks gonna get him.
Didn't even go. Who got him? Seahawks.
Yep.
Eagles had a chance to draft DK Metcalf, a really fucking good receiver now that's gonna probably be really good for a long time. Passed him up. Went with JJ. It's like.
Can't do anything right.
Like, Seahawks have to be laughing at us
Yeah.
right now. They've been one step ahead of us, and then they have Russell Wilson. So they gave him weapons. A quarterback even that they've built around.
Yep.
They gave him weapons that they're obviously going to make a push. What did they do? They went out and shored up the defensive line. They shored up the receiver core.
Yep.
Dude, Pete Carroll's so fucking underrated.
I love Pete Carroll. I used to hate
His
him. I
dudes
love
just
him.
play, man.
Yeah, they
just
play for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, they respect him. You can tell. And the Eagles got to win out. I think that the winning
Shitty part's
division.
just not even on them anymore. Yeah, they have to win out.
They gotta win out.
Other shit has to happen now.
Yeah.
People have to lose. It's fucking.
Yep. Cowboys aren't looking like they're
There's no
stopping.
chance they're getting a. They have to win the NFC East.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's-
I mean, if the Cowboys go in and beat the Patriots, we're all
Done.
but done. I mean, we
Yep.
can beat the Cowboys, and then we're split, and then it's like opponents, and they got the Patriots on us. They beat the Lions. Like,
There's a bright side though. We do have the 30 easiest schedule in the league coming up. We got to get through the Seahawks, but
Yep.
you can't take these bad teams like the Dolphins, like the Skins, like the Giants. You can't take these teams for granted coming up. You can't because these are must-win
if we
games.
beat the Seahawks, and the Cowboys beat the Patriots, it would take like the Cowboys losing to the Giants or Redskins one more time.
They would have to
and
lose
us.
all the rest of their games but one if they beat the Patriots. They would have to do that, and we'd have to win out.
That's not good.
No.
R.I.P. See you next year, boys.
Yeah, but I mean,
At least we're probably going to see an overhaul of the wide receiver core.
Yeah.
Nelson Aguilar's got to go, right?
Yeah.
He's got to go. They got to cut him.
There's no reason why he should still be on
Because
that team at this point. Even as
he's
a
a
wide
free
receiver
agent.
3, like,
Yeah,
There's-
they got to restructure his contract if they
Dude,
want
I'm
him.
going to be honest with you. I wouldn't bring Deshaun back. You can't fucking stay healthy. Get the fuck off my team, dude.
Even Alshon just seems like he has a bad attitude. It just seems like that comes off to me.
Yeah,
it just
and he
seems like
never
he has a bad
fucking
attitude.
plays. He's not a number one.
No.
He's not.
No, he's 28 years old. He's getting up there in age.
Dude, I feel like I hate this because the fucking every team has injuries, but I just feel like all our players are hurt. This has always been a thing for the Eagles. Like, we've always had injuries, huge injuries to a shitload of people. It's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where this rest of the season goes. I mean, it's not looking great, but we still got a chance.
all right, we're going to take
Ready?
one last quick break here. We only got a couple minutes in here, so we're going to spend some time. When we come back real quick, we're going to go into, some of the people that we've been posting on Reddit have asked us some questions. We're happy about that.
Appreciate
Keep
it.
them coming. We'll be right back, and we'll
Nah,
answer
fuck
some
y'all.
questions.
All right, I asked people on Reddit to just message me some questions just to give us new shit to talk about, really. I'm going to start with one just because it's directed at me. I'll get that out of the way real quick. Houston Soul said, why did you stop posting plays on Reddit and will you start at some point? No, I'm not going to start posting plays again. And without going long, I'll just touch on it quick. Just people are just crybabies about shit. And just like money management is a huge problem for people, for most people sports betting, not just people on Reddit. So
True.
if I tell them to play and they go bet their fucking family on it, then it's my problem, and it's just annoying, and it's, yeah. So no, I'm not going to post plays.
We had success too back in that when you were doing that. Like,
Yeah.
those were great
posting
times.
plays?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is.
I remember that.
It
I
was
always tell people I went on a fucking, like, a stretch. It was, like, insane. Where I lost, like, 3 games and won, like, 30-something.
Your college basketball.
And then I went on no, it was college football.
Oh yeah.
I went on a losing streak then for, like, a week. It was, like, I don't know, 7 plays. People, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I had, like,
second you lose.
I used to have screenshots of all my messages. At one point, I had, like, over 50 messages of people fucking complaining to me. Yeah.
Dude,
Come
it
on,
just
you're not gonna
sets,
win
Yeah, I
every
think
game.
there's like 40,000 people on some of these
Yeah.
these things, so a shitload of people see it.
Yeah.
It sets such an unrealistic expectation. Like, that's awesome that you're able to go on such a streak like that, but you got to know, like, the way that this shit works is that
It doesn't happen much.
it's ebbs and flows. When you're up, and when it comes down, it's gonna. I mean, even the best of the best get got. Yeah, so
I guess
I don't
I
blame
can
you
just,
for getting out of that,
Yeah.
but
that'll kind of lead me into the next question then, real quick. No Mac 2, no Mac, I believe 2. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Tips for new sports bettors betting mostly football. And if you guys want to go ahead, because I don't think our tips are going to be anywhere close to the same.
Jack, I'll let you start.
If not, I'll just go.
My
It's
tip,
fine.
I would say, start slow. Definitely ask for advice, and definitely bet small. Don't definitely keep your units small, and keep your bankroll small until you start getting a little more confidence and you start, you start realizing how it works, how the spreads work, how teasers work, how everything works. Football is actually, I think, a really good sport to bet on. It's just the most fun sport to bet on, just because it's so up and down, and every game's just so into it. So my advice would just be keep your units small, bet small to start out with. Don't just go all in and betting $100 on a game when you really don't know what you're doing. And also ask for advice. If you know someone that's been doing this for a while, ask them, see what their insight is on a pick, and yeah, just ask advice and bet small. That's for me.
And I'm not saying, like, here's my advice and that I follow it, because I just do stupid stuff. You
Yeah,
heard me the last time.
absolutely.
Like, I went full tilt on a game, and I thought, live betting led to some terrible decisions. Live bet and then put the rest of my bankroll on the Patriots. I thought it was a lock. I lost it. Did it even again. I did it again this week. Got lucky. Going full tilt on UGA. But I think the biggest advice that I could give you is trust your bets.
Yeah.
When games start to swing in different directions, like, I can speak from experience. Live betting, when your initial bet is gone, like, you feel like it's gone, is just such a terrible
We all do it.
decision to do.
We all do it.
And I don't think I've been successful with it once. I can give you
I have.
3 examples right now. One, Seattle down 14 points to the Tampa Bay Bucks. I hedged it, or I live bet the Bucks to go, and it came back to bite me. The Seahawks wound up winning, even down 14 right off the bat. This past week, one, I messed up. I thought I bet the under. Turns out I bet the over of. So pay attention to what you're actually betting when it comes to that. I thought I had the over, or the under on the Eagles Patriots. And then, so when I realized I messed up, I went and bet the over at 34.5 live bet, and that didn't work either. So you just double down. It's one of those things that you just want to keep looking, you wait for the right time, but you can never wait for the right time. You just got to stick with what you have and move on to the next game, because there's going to be plenty more games for you to play. Don't try and get caught up in just winning that one game, because you'll just wind up taking your whole unit, your whole weekly allowance that you want to put for this week, and just blowing it out of the water.
Another thing, live betting is very risky. There's been a couple of times where it's late and I bet on a game and I win, so I got some money. I'm like, oh, there's some late NBA on. Oh, what's the over at? Oh, this over's going to hit for sure. And the amount of times where I've lost that and then I've lost the money I made is second to none. So just be smart with your live bets. Don't go on because you have a chance. The odds are bet 50 to make 48. You know what I mean? Don't, just exactly what Spencer said. Just, be smart about your live bets.
So Gator, the man himself.
My tip, honestly, save your fucking money and don't start. That would legit be my number one piece of
Where's
advice.
the fun in that, though?
Right, but if you're legit, like, wanting to do it, first off, people bet way too many fucking games a day.
That's me.
One, two,
that's me.
maybe 3 games.
Yeah. I
is
probably
where
bet 5 to 6 again.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
And if you want to have more fun, it's more fun having more money on a game than it is having multiple games, which turn into a fucking sweat fest of you on your couch, screaming, hollering, freaking the fuck out, buttholes clenched. It's just not fun. Quit parlaying the games all the time. It's a good way to make a lot of money. It's a great way to lose a lot of money. The best advice, though, and it's if you want to have fun, it's not the way to go, is to learn numbers. Implied probability. If you can learn implied probability, because if someone tries to tell you to go with your gut rather than betting a number, they probably lost their money. And number one is you're betting people bet way too much money on games.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I see people with like $100 in their account betting $20 a game, $30 a game. That's how you go fucking tilt, because you'll lose games. At the end of the day, you have like $25 and you're like, fuck, I'm just going to put this on something, try to get my money back.
That's me.
Yeah. But I think you guys do it more for fun, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's some people who actually like try to rely on this shit.
Yeah.
As like
And another thing is, if you don't have the money to bet, don't bet. If you are
it'll
putting
turn
half
into
your,
a fucking addiction.
absolutely, if you're putting half your paycheck into a FanDuel or a DraftKings account, you probably shouldn't be doing that. Like, that's why I said start small, then work your way up.
So I got one question for you, Cody. You had experience on the other side of it. You've dealt with some people. What advice would you give to someone who wants to look at paying a capper to do their work?
Don't do it.
Don't do it?
No.
What's the reason?
The main reason, because I fucking did that for a while, and I helped someone who did that for a while. There's some good guys out there, but legit finding someone that has an edge is, man, for the amount of people out there selling plays,
Yeah.
it's hard. Because the problem is, this is how it goes, is people go on hot streaks, and then they'll start paying for or charging for picks. And just for every hot streak is 5 losing streaks in a row. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't think there's a problem with paying someone to get some good advice. As long as it's not a shitload. There's dudes like charging $500 a month for this shit.
Yeah.
You know
There's
what
a guy I know. He's really legit. There's a lot of cookie cutter cappers out there. This guy, he posts 66 weeks of every single week he's had. So he's posting results. Yeah. All of his results, whether he wins or he loses. Those are the kind of people you want to go after.
Transparency.
Exactly. Yeah. Those are the people you want to go after. The people that aren't bullshitting you, that saying they're going 10-1 every other week. You know what I mean? Because that's not possible. It's really not. So I would say just look for someone that's legit. Don't be so gullible.
Yeah, I mean, and someone told me a long time ago, if someone has a real edge, they're not charging for picks.
Yeah.
It's the God honest truth. And I actually had a question that I didn't put in here because I didn't want to speak on the guy personally, but I don't remember exactly what it was. But I helped some guy helped me build a model. And it's so hard to keep an edge with anything on earth. And this model was like the best fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. I showed it to Spencer. This was like 2 years ago.
Yep.
And people were outraged because he posted it on Reddit and shit and then took it down. And that's what the question was about. Is I'm kind of losing my train of thought here. Pretty much, it's hard to keep an edge. If you have an edge, capitalize on it, but just know that it's not going to last.
Yep.
So to wrap up that whole ramble is save your fucking money and do drugs instead. I don't know.
Another good way to waste your money.
It's just, this last question is just a real simple one. I don't really know why you would ask me this, but if you had to root for another team, just right off the bat, you couldn't root for the Eagles anymore, an NFL team, who would be your team to root for and why? I'm just going to say Colts. That would be my team, just because Frank. I love Frank Rich.
That's fair. If you're talking right now, I'd say the Ravens. They're the most fun team
that's a
right
good
now
one.
to watch.
That's a fucking
Dude,
good
like imagine just being like the Ravens. You lose your marquee quarterback for the last one. Joe Flacco you lose him. You're onto a whole new era where your team is just filled with tight ends, a brand new quarterback who just has all the doubt in the world, and then you get Mark Ingram, and this whole team is just built around him. I mean, the defense is playing all right, but this offense is so much fun. I mean, it's more fun now, I'm saying, than watching the Chiefs last year. Like that was a blast. Don't get me wrong. Like the Chiefs were so awesome, but this is just a whole new style of football. That's just I love watching. If I didn't have the Eagles right now, I'd be rooting for the Ravens.
I forgot to say who. Houston Soul. Thanks for that question. I was just messing with you.
I like that question.
I appreciate any questions. Actually, the dumber the question is.
Well, that's not a dumb question.
No, it's a dumb question.
All right.
The dumber the question, the better. It creates conversation.
All right, cool. I'd definitely back Spencer up on the Ravens just because we've done some work for the Ravens. We've vended beer there at the Ravens Stadium, so I kind of have like a little piece of the Ravens in
Got
me.
insider info, bro?
I do not, but
How those chicken tenders though?
The great chicken tenders, great food, great concession stands. Check it out. But
did they have anyone banging any trash cans while you guys were working inside?
I didn't hear it.
No, but we did have one guy who was stealing money from us.
Yeah, we won't name names, but yeah, I was really trying to think about. I probably would just say the Ravens too because like I said, I've been to their stadium 100 times and their fan bases. They have like one of the best fan bases ever. We used to work in the club level, and you would see the same people. Granted, it's a club level, so it's a little pricey, but you'd see the same people coming in. So you starting to get to know these people, and they're just really loyal. The Raven fans are really loyal. They're not really annoying. So I probably have to back up Spencer there with the Ravens.
If Lamar wasn't on the team, would you have the same answer?
Probably.
I know you didn't say those.
No, I probably would because years ago I'd probably say the Ravens were my second favorite team.
If it wasn't for Lamar and that offense, and I had to pick another team,
I might say the Texans too. I like Deshaun Watson.
No,
I hate the Falcons. No way.
They were so much fun to watch.
Back in the day with their old unis, I like their old unis were cool. The black with the black Falcon. They were
like
cool.
5 years ago though, with if you, what team would you not want to root for? Appreciate all the questions.
Obviously
the
the Patriots. Nobody wants to root for them, but
a non-NFC East team.
Non-NFC East team that you wouldn't want to root for.
The Browns, of course. So many. There's so many.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot.
Probably I don't want to just cherry pick at the bottom and say the Dolphins.
Yeah,
because
it's
that's
so
just,
easy.
It's but like
you can't be
terrible
like, I wouldn't want to
organization.
root for the Patriots.
No, I would
won.
say the Panthers. Like that team is just they have like
that's the Eagles though.
Right, they
the
have
Eagles.
like
True.
one of the best players in the NFL.
Yeah, why would you want to go through that again?
And and it's just like they're just going to be mediocre for a long time. There's nothing really like that jumps out. They don't have like an awesome stadium, an awesome fan base. Like it's just kind of mediocre at best.
I would say a team that I would hate, like the Bengals. There's nothing that excites me about the Bengals. I know they're terrible this year, but even when they had Carson Palmer and Ocho Cinco,
Have you ever met a Bengals fan?
never met a Bengals fan.
One, Bucky.
I don't think I've ever met a Bengals
You know
fan.
you're shitty when you're both from Ohio, but the Browns are the team everyone roots for.
And I don't think I've ever met a Cardinals fan in my life too. I don't think I've ever met a Cardinals fan. I mean, there's a lot of Arizona.
They do?
No, he's a Seahawk.
Oh.
But I don't. I mean, obviously, if you go out west, you'll see them. But East Coast, I've never seen a card. And going back to the teams that you would like, I would say the Raiders, man. There's just something about the Raiders. Like, I know you fucking hate John Gruden and stuff, but I would just say the Raiders, man. The Raiders are just the stigma behind them is just, I don't know. It's just to be a good team to root for.
Who will win a Super Bowl first? Who will make it to the playoffs first? The Cleveland Browns or the Dolphins?
Browns.
Yeah, that's easy, actually.
Or what about the Redskins or the Dolphins?
Oh, that's a good one.
The Redskins don't have any hope.
I'm saying the Dolphins.
I'd say the Redskins.
Dolphins?
I'm saying the Dolphins.
Dolphins might have the better
The
draft
Dolphins
pick.
at least have a plan. Like,
Yeah.
the Dolphins have a plan in place. Whether or not it's going to work, we don't know. But they at least have a plan. The Redskins think that they're, like, some great team right now, the way that they're
Haskins isn't-
structured. And they're not doing anything because their owners are too damn proud to do
Could Bill
anything.
Belichick go to either the Redskins or Dolphins and win right now?
No.
In 1 year or, like, 3 years?
Give him 2.
2 years?
No.
I think you can make the playoffs in 2 years.
With the Redskins, yeah.
Either one of those teams. Give him 1 round of draft picks, 1 round of acquisitions.
Yeah,
as
I
the
guess.
GM.
I guess his
I'm giving him
business
2
mind.
years, and I think he can do it.
Okay, I kind of agree with that.
I would kill to have him on the Eagles. He'd be so good.
And here comes
what
our
team-
daily or weekly
What
Bill
team?
Belichick
What
talk.
team would he be really good on? Like, what team is fucking loaded with talent? Because he's never had a team loaded with
The
talent.
Ravens, dude.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick would make Lamar Jackson look even more better than he is now.
Dude, he would make that defense 10 times better, and
Oh my
then
God.
they'd be unstoppable.
Yeah, because doesn't he coach the defense? Belichick?
He has his hands in it.
Yeah.
He does everything.
McDaniels coaches the offense over there.
Water.
I
boy,
hate
everything.
McDaniels, dude. What a bitch move. Remember McDaniels was supposed to go to the Colts?
Yeah,
Remember
that's
that?
the reason we don't have Frank Reich
And he just
anymore.
backed out. Like, dude,
Yep.
what a bitch move. You can't say. And he agreed to go. And then 2 days later said no. I don't know if it was 2 days, but it was pretty damn close.
Before we end here, real quick story. Another Bill Belichick story.
Always
Julian
talking about the
Edelman was
Patriots.
talking about the first time he was alone with Bill Belichick.
Oh, God.
First off, I was
be
telling
really
Spencer
weird.
weeks ago, I didn't tell you. Edelman said he's maybe had like 5 conversations with Bill Belichick that wasn't about football. Like, that's just how he is. And when you look at him, you can tell that's how he
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Lacrosse, football, or the Navy? Army? Something.
Did I ever tell you?
Anyway,
Navy,
he was
yeah.
in the locker room late at night. Edelman was. He just worked out. He was going to go get in the hot tub. And Bill Belichick was in there naked in the hot tub. And you're not supposed to be in the locker rooms naked in hot tubs. And he said, so he laughed and went down. Bill Belichick just came out naked, like fully fucking naked, and was just standing there, like real awkwardly trying to have a conversation with Julian Edelman. He was like, that was the first time he had a one-on-one conversation
Dude,
with him.
what is up with old men getting naked
Oh,
in
you just
locker
tweet-
rooms?
you just tweeted
I just
about
tweeted
that.
this. I'm walking into Planet Fitness. Yeah, I live to Planet Fitness, but I walk into Planet Fitness and I'm walking in and there's this guy just sitting there butt ass naked. There's nothing wrong with being naked in the locker room. Like, hey, you change, whatever. But this guy, I'm walking in, he's just staring at me, smiling. Cause like first thing you walk in, like someone's naked, you're like looking, and then you're like, oh
And
shit.
they're always sitting like this.
He was sitting.
spread eagle.
He was sitting like this, going like a. And I'm just like, and I kept double looking. I was like, dude, why is this guy staring at me like this? Like, it was.
let their shit
I was
air out.
so uncomfortable. Like but every locker room you go in, there's some old guy just chilling there naked, like with his freaking schlong hanging out. Like, it's the weirdest thing, man. It's like some like. I guess when we turn like 50, we're gonna be doing the same thing, but
No, hell no.
it doesn't stop. It like even when I was younger, you'd always see that. Like,
We're going to do
Weird,
the next
man.
podcast. We're just going to sit here naked.
yeah, dude, everyone would love that.
That's all we got.
Thanks for tuning in,
Faith
fellas.
Hog Podcast, November 19th, 2019.
We out.
Send us more questions.
Please.
Dislike on YouTube. Unsubscribe.
Chica.